Hey guys, so this is a review for assignment 2, the assignment on Agile Minds called assignment 2 that will boost your second 9 weeks grade. So I'm going to go through a few problems that look like what's on your assignment 2. This is dealing with adding and subtracting integers. So the first problem we get to says in the first quarter, the Panthers get the football at their 20-yard line. On the next play, the quarterback is sacked for a loss of 4 yards. Then the running back is tackled behind the line of scrimmage for another loss of 2 yards. Which of the following expressions cannot be used to determine the yard line that the Panthers are on after the second play? So it looks like he started on the 20, lost 4, and then lost another 2. So I need that to show the expression. And one of these they're saying cannot represent that. Okay, so all of them show that he started at a 20. I'm going to just start with this one. It says 20, gone down 4 yards. Then it says he gains 2 yards. So he never gained the 2 yards. So this cannot be it. This says he started at the 20, lost 4, then lost another 2. So that looks like it's good. But we need to pay attention to it cannot. So far this one cannot be. So I think this one is the one we have to check. So this one is good. So a check mark there. This says 20 yards, lost, and they went ahead and combined the 4 and the 2 yards and lost a total of 6. Did he lose a total of 6? The 4 and the 2 combined to 6, and they both were lost, so this really would say 20 minus 6, which is still true, so this one's good. This one says 20 gained a negative 4. Well, gaining a negative and losing 4 is the same thing, so that's good. And then gained a negative 2. Gaining a negative and losing is the same thing, so that's still good. So it looks like this would be the option that we would need to select because it cannot be used to represent the situation. Next, the difference of a positive integer minus a negative integer is something. Okay, I can't think unless I have an example. So a positive integer, I'm just going to write, it's hard to write with a mouse. Let me go to my board. I'm just going to write a 4. It's a positive integer. Minus, so I'm going to write a minus, a negative integer. So I need a negative here. And I'm just going to write negative 1. If you remember, anytime these two negatives hit like that, they turn to a plus, so it is 4 plus 1, which would be 5, so that turned to a positive answer. So it might always be positive. Let's check another example. Let's go with a positive 5 minus negative 2. Again, the two negatives hit, turn to a plus, so it's 5 plus 2, and that gives me a 7, which is positive. So it looks like it's always positive. All right, let's check out another problem. Elevation is the height compared to sea level. If the height of the landmass is below sea level, the elevation is negative. The lowest point in Europe is in Prince Alexander Polder, which has an elevation of negative 7 meters. Which point on the number line below represents negative 7 meters if it's counting by 1 meters each? So it looks like C is on 0. Negative would be going backwards, and we need to go back 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So obviously A is the correct answer. Check out another problem. More than 1/4 of the Netherlands lie below sea level. Lucas visits a museum located at an elevation of 7 meters and bicycles to a neighborhood somewhere which has an elevation of -16 meters. Which integer represents his change in elevation for his trip? So he started at 7, then went to -16. They want to know his change in elevation. So he's dropping down, so obviously it has to be a negative. He's started at a positive, he's going down. So thinking of a number line, he was at a +7, we'll say 0 is right here, and he's going down all the way to a -16. So he's going back negative way, so it has to be a negative number. By how much? Well, this is 7 spots, this is 16 spots. 16 plus 7 gives me 23, so he's going -23 spots in elevation. So -23 would have been the answer there. All right, says the table above gives the elevation of some areas in the Netherlands. Which of the following lists the elevations from least to greatest? All right, so we have positive and negative numbers. The negatives need to be listed first, and the largest negatives need to be listed extremely first. So our negative numbers is -3, -7, -10. The largest negative number is -10, so that needs to be listed first. Let's double check the rest of them. -7, -3, then go into our positives. So it looks like this one is listed from least to greatest. What is the range of the elevations listed in the table above? Range is your difference between your smallest and your highest. So the smallest number listed here is -10. And the largest number listed looks like a +10. So I need the difference between those two spots. Easiest way for me to see it is on a number line again. So if -10's here, 0's there, +10 is there. What's the difference between these two spots? Well, there's 10 sections there, 10 sections there, for a total of 20 for the distance between those two spots, that's what range means. So 20 meters would be the range in those elevations. The opposite of -5 is, opposite is changing its sign. So the positive, this is a negative form, so the positive form would be a +5. Whoops, bad circle. What is the additive inverse of -3? Additive inverse means what can be added to it that's going to give you an answer of 0. So -3 plus what gives me 0? Write that down. -3 plus what is going to give me 0? Well, plus a 3 is going to give me 0, so the additive inverse is a +3. The lowest point of land on Earth is located on the shore of the Dead Sea. Its elevation in 1996 was reported to be -400 meters. The Dead Sea is lowering at a rate of nearly 1 meter every 10 years. So the elevation of the shoreline is constantly changing. Approximately what will the elevation be in 2096? So I need to see the difference between these 2 years. So from 2096 to see, 1996. That's a difference of 100 years. Okay, but they said it's changing every 10 years. So I need to know how many sets of 10 is in 100. So I could do, if you don't know that, you could do 100 divided by 10. And there are 10 sets of 10s in 100. And the question asked approximately what will the elevation be in, okay? So every 10 years it's gaining a meter, or losing a meter. So it started at negative 400 meters, and every year it's going down another meter. And we are doing that for 10 years. So that means it's going to lose a total of 10 meters, one per year. So negative 400 is going down further. It's going to be a larger looking negative. So the elevation would then be at a negative 410 meters. Would be the new elevation in 2096. Seems like a terribly long time from now. Okay, eventually the water in the Dead Sea is expected to dry up. The lowest point of the sea floor is approximately 800 meters below sea level. This will eventually be the lowest elevation on land. If in 1996 the elevation was reported at negative 400 meters, what is the difference between this elevation and the eventual lowest elevation? So the lowest one is going to be a negative 800 because it's below sea level, so negative 800. Right now it's at negative 400. They want to know the difference between those two. So from a negative 400 to get to negative 800, sorry, I lost my spot. Alright, so I need to find the difference between the two, it says. So it was at negative 800, and the difference means subtract, and then it goes to negative 400. What is the difference between those two? Well, anytime these two negatives are touching, it turns to a plus, so it changes my problem totally. So it really says negative 800 plus 400 is going to give me what? So if I'm way back here on negative 800 on the number line, I'm adding 400. So am I going back more? No, I'm going forward more, so it's going to be small, looking smaller than that. I'm going forward 400. Oops. So I'm going to be at a negative 400 at that point. And I wrote the problem backwards. So that is why I did not get the correct answer. We started at negative 400, finding the difference from a negative 800. Makes a big difference. These two negatives hit, turn to a plus, so negative 400 plus 800. So I was at negative 400. I'm going positive direction. Lost my mouse here. Alright, I got my mouse. We're going positive direction 800. So I need to know where I'm landing. I'm landing on the positive end. And I should be landing on 400, which then gives me my positive 400. So you got to make sure you're writing the problem right, because it said the difference between, they said this elevation, so that one first, then the lowest one, which was this one, so I had to make sure I was writing it correctly. And that is all of the review for assignment 2 of adding and subtracting integers. You can complete assignment 2 on Agile Minds, and if you don't get 80% or better, you can do the assignment 2 on Alex to try and bump it up. Email me when you're finished so I can see how you did and if it worked out for you. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and peace out, home dogs.